Good morning and welcome to Belinda's Baubles episode 33. Today is November 17th, 2025. It also happens to be Sam's birthday, which I am irritating him at the moment because I am mentioning it. He doesn't celebrate birthdays anymore as far as he's concerned. We celebrate it for him. So I wanted to come on here. I am getting ready for work this morning, and so let's just get right into it. Thank you very much for those that have joined us. And I have a few new subscribers and all of you guys that are back with me again. I am so glad you're here. And I just wanted to thank you for hanging out with me because I know I can be a bit sporadic, and I know my life has gotten me even more sporadic lately. And I really appreciate you being here. I hope you enjoyed the last video of the DFW Fiber Fest. I had a great time. It was dramatic, to say the least, but I'm doing fine. My health is good, and now that I've cut out tea, I have coffee instead, which I had cut off out and replaced with tea. But I seem to have developed an allergic reaction to tea, black tea. I am not happy about it. But my face isn't swelling up as bad or as often anymore. So I guess you have to take one and leave the other. Okay. So I have a few things to discuss with you. See the elephant in the room? As well as a few other things that I've been working on lately. And I was trying to be good and stay with completing certain things. Instead, I've added more things. Of course, you cast on if you want to. It's our knitting, it's our crocheting, and we just do whatever we want to with it. And there is no judgment here. Okay, free space here with no judgment. All right, so join me and let's see. First up, in my last episode with the DFW Fiber Fest, I was doing a drawing. I haven't had a chance to draw that yet, so I am going to put a link right here or a picture right here. And this will be the winner of the, I don't even have it up. I know I have it up here. I just don't know where it is at the moment. The place is a wreck, as usual. Well, even more of a wreck. I even have a ladder in here at the moment in my craft room because the guys were using it out in the hallway, and apparently my space was the closest place for them to put it instead of taking it downstairs to the garage. Okay, and that. I have work this morning, so I was wanting to just touch base with you guys, go over what I've been working on, what my plans are, because it's already the middle of November and Advent is coming soon, and I will be participating. I'm hoping this is not touching the mic. Okay. And I am all excited. I've already started doing a little bit of minor filming just for some things to add in and things that I've come across just whenever I am out and about. So please do join me for a Texas Advent starting December 1st, and let's just have a wonderful season. So where should I start? Let me start with my finished object. This is not it. This is. I'm having to rely on my notes even more than usual. Bear with me. I have tried to get myself organized, and it just has not happened really good. Okay, so this is the Nautilus 1954 watch cap by Jolene Munoz. At least this is based on her cap. I did not use as much yarn. I only used a 50-gram ball, and it's a free pattern designed for donations for the U.S. Navy submariners. I have a link down below if you're interested in making some hats for the U.S. Navy. But this one here is made with Knit Picks Wool of the Andes tweed worsted in golden palm. Get this closer to you so you can really see the tweed in there. There we go. I think you can see that. I really do like the top of the hat. I decreased more rapidly than what she calls for because I was just using a 50-gram ball, but I really do enjoy this. It's cast on 96 stitches, and then I did the rib for 2.5 inches and knit the hat to 6.5 inches, and then just followed the pattern for 2 rounds of decreases. Then it did a rapid decrease every row after that. And for this Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, let's see what it's made of. I think I'm remembering right, but it's, oh, lovely. Yeah, it just says 80% wool, 20% other, and that's not really necessarily accurate. Okay, so it's Donegal tweed. So it is actually 100% non-superwash wool. 80% Peruvian and 20% Donegal. Okay. So that is my one finished object, and I am getting hot in this, so we're going to move on to new construction because I am burning up at the moment, and I'm sure you can see my face getting redder. So let me get back over to my notebook. I'm using my Ravelry notes, so all of these items are in Ravelry. I just don't have all the pictures uploaded yet. So I have still been doing a little bit of machine knitting. I'd put it aside, but I've gotten back with it with the help of Mandy from Mandy Von Knits. She's been doing a lot of machine knitting, and yeah, I prefer hand knitting, but there is a purpose for machine knitting. For one thing, it really does give you a palette cleanser, and if you're needing something quickly, it helps with that too. And just for donations or whatever, and Mandy also had donated towards a teacher that I was sending some hats up to, and thank you very much. Those are on their way to Minnesota, and the family is so excited about it. So let me show you what I have been doing. So I've been experimenting still a little bit, and I did a couple of hats. This is out of Gem Luxe fibers, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It is the Color Fusion April with Team Emily. It's DK, 245 yards to 100 grams. So it's a light DK. And what I have done here is I used 75 grams to make this hat. And it makes it to where it's just a good size to be able to double up without a ton of extra. Either have it on this way or give it just a little bit of a slouch. So I really like the 75 grams. This would probably be about a size medium hat because I'm using the center tab for the tension. Now, this one here is Dye to Spin. And she's no longer dyeing at this time. It's a 70% superwash merino and 30% silk, 231 yards to 100 grams, and it is a DK. I don't even know what the colorway, it says Yarn for Yarn Snobs. It was one of the colorways that she did during COVID, and I can't remember which one it was. But this is just done with 50 grams. So I still have 50 grams left. And it made for just a nice length if I'm just wanting a cap. So that might give you a few ideas if you're messing around with one of these machines, as far as you can do things with 50 grams, as far as just a nice little cap. You can do it with 75. Or I did another one, which I've already gifted over to one of my son's friends with 100 grams, and I did it in the last tension holder, which made it a lot looser because he has a large head and he wanted a thick cuff. And so I did that, but the problem with it is it really does drop stitches badly. So I had to crank it out twice in order to be able to get to it. And so it was a bit more frustrating, but it was the only way to get it to the size that he needed. It was right before the cold front hit here in Texas for a day or two, and before the heat came back, which is why I'm turning red. And so, but he loved it, and I was able to get him a hat done in about an hour. So that worked out really well. And what I have here is what I plan to do for a Christmas present. And I don't know if the person that I made it for is into Doctor Who or not. If they're not, I am still, at least especially Tom Baker's era. And so I may end up keeping it. So it will find a home. And what I have done is I used the row count for Doctor Who Scarf Season 12 by Tara Wheeler. It's a free pattern. She's done it where it's true to the way it was actually made, which was the Doctor Who scarf was originally garter stitch. And so I did it just to machine knit it so that it could be done quickly. In fact, I did this 13.5-foot long scarf. I went past Tom Baker's 12 feet scarf and ended up with a 13.5-foot scarf. And with machine knitting, did it in about 7 hours over 2 days. So for something this big, I think it did pretty good. All right, so what I made this with is Knit Picks Brava worsted. Knit Picks had a big sale on a week or two ago. Their $2, $4, $6 sale. And so all of their Brava solid was $2. And so this scarf ended up costing $18. I still have quite a bit left over. It's not done because I have not done the fringe yet. So that's going to add another foot basically to the scarf. So it's going to end up being 14.5 feet long. And so it's a monster. And it's just, but it is fun. And it is warm. So the colors here. I have them all down here. Actually, I have them on my invoice here. So let's see here. The gray here is Asphalt. Yellow is Caution. Then I have the purple here is Eggplant. The red is Wine. This olive green is Fig. And then the dark green, this is Dublin. And I just chose colors that looked like they were fairly close to what Tara had put in hers, because she was using Vanna White yarn, and this is just 100% acrylic, and it's a monster. So I still need to add the fringe on. Not my favorite thing to do, but it will definitely create the end of what it looks like. And once I get it totally done, Seaver has agreed to let me photograph him in it. So I'll share that once it's done. Shall we do just a little section of confessions right here? You may have noticed my center section here looks a little bit different. I have palette, Knit Picks palette to be able to do some color work with, and that was part of that $2 sale. So in there, I have white, Finley Heather, Wallaby, Brown Sugar, Pennyroyal, Majestic, Hyacinth, Eggplant, Rouge, Blossom Heather, Salsa Heather, Cayenne, Kumquat, Cornmeal, Pea Pod, Green Tea Heather, Teal, Shoal, Marine, Marine Heather, Calypso, Wonderland Heather, Pool, Blue, Hollyberry, and Espresso. No. Yeah. No, actually, I think the espresso was part of the scarf. That was the brown on the scarf. So, as you can tell, I'm planning on doing some color work. And I want, with that big of a sale, it sure did make a difference in cost. So that because most color work, you just use a little bit and you go on. So now I have a nice selection to pull from and a lot less expensive than if I was going to be buying, say, the next item. I did buy some yarn lately. I am using most of the yarn that I bought lately, and I have tried to do my best to find it on sale. So during Shetland Wool Week, I decided that I wanted to participate in the all or, I know I'm still saying this wrong, but the all or Tory by the Shetland Guild of Spinners, Knitters, Weavers, and Dyers. And that was their hat for this year. I started it during Shetland Wool Week instead of having it ahead of time. And I figure it's cheaper for me to get Jamison's than to actually go over there, because I had not tried Jamison's before. And so this is all done with Jamison's Shetland Spindrift. And this is what I have so far. And boy, this is scratchier than palette. They're both non-superwash, they're both fingering weight, and they're both good for doing color work. But this is much scratchier, so I'm hoping it softens up a little bit. But this give you an idea of how it's looking so far. I'm really happy with this. And this is my most intricate color work that I have done so far. So the colors that I am working with is Scotch Broom, Loganberry, Nighthawk, Pebble, and Sherbert left the building. I don't know where it went to. It's around here somewhere. That was the one I was holding up a while ago, which is the pink. And so it starts out down here. It is a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I chose to do the 5-color version. You had a 5-color or a 7-color version. And the cost of the hat was fairly cheap for a hat pattern, so I was fine with that. But Bill and I think Bill already has his done, and what we were looking at is next year for the DFW Fiber Fest. It is just too warm here in Texas to really wear much as far as knitted or crocheted items without sweating a lot. So we figured we'd go with hats. So I'm going to be working on, probably another hat or a cowl or something like that to be able to wear to the Fiber Fest next year. I am already most of the way through the second repeat. It only has 3 repeats, and then you start decreasing. So it's moving along quite rapidly. And I chose the gold because I wanted it to go with my jacket. It doesn't quite match, but it's fairly close. So I may have to stop in just a little bit and come back to y'all this evening after work, but we'll see how we do. And this was I'm trying to remember. I won it a few years ago, and I can't remember. Oh, So Unique. It's inside. So Unique in the UK. It was a prize for it was a prize for cheating on the sock. Oh shoot. I guess it's too early for my brain to really work. I'll put it right here. Most of y'all probably participate in it, which there wasn't one this year. Strictly Sock Along. There we go. I wanted a few years for cheating with the Strictly Sock Along. So I love that bag. And show you again, it's a great fall bag because this is still fall here in Texas. All these leaves and trees and everything. So much fun. So my mindfulness shawl. Okay. I am going to have to pull some information over here. The mindfulness shawl is just a simple one skein shawl, and I'm doing this with Ruth Loves to Knit for one of her make-alongs. And it's just squishy garter with a nice little edge, and it's a wedge scarf, and you just go till it's done. And it can be, you can use different either DK, fingering weight, just different weights, and you can make it whatever size you want. So you just cast it off whenever it's done. And so this was just something that I am working on whenever I need something simple. It is by Heike Gittens Designs. And used to, you had to go to her website to get the pattern, which I bought a few years ago and misplaced it. So I'm glad that she's now on Ravelry, where I was able to download it and hold on to it. So that, I'm trying to find what the yarn is for you, because this is one that I got last year at the up in the Shenandoah Valley Fiber Fest, and it is Polymorph Dye Works. The colorway here is Nerf, like a Nerf ball. And it's this great Donegal tweed attached, and it's all neons, but it's attached to a, this is 231 yards to 100 grams. And I think it's just 100% superwash merino. Don't hold me to that. I don't know where my band is. I had it earlier, but of course things disappear. Then the other thing that I have cast on is I have a family member who is planning on moving north to the frozen north of the United States from Texas. So she does not care for wool. I'm going to try to change her mind, but right now I'm using Cascade Yarn Anthem in color 11. And what I am making is the Hoodala. It's Hoodala, a basic hooded cowl by Laura Nelkin. I'll put a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. And this was my first time doing basically an invisible cast on. It is a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give too much information, but you cast on at the top. It took me 3 attempts, but I got it close enough. I'm happy enough with it. And then you start working both sides. My needles here, going back around and around until you're able to just go all the way down and pull it together at the bottom. But it's supposed to be long enough, as you can see in the picture, where you can fold it up and go over the mouth. And that's what I'm hoping for. And I love this eggplant color. It's showing up a little bit more blue purple than what it is. It's more of a royal purple. So this is something that I'm continuing to work on. I have till January, so I'm going to throw some Christmas presents in the mix before then. If something happens and it's not done in time, then it'll just happen later. I'm housing it in one of my Monarch Erin Lane bags. And it's supposed to take, I think, about 2 to 3 skeins. And this is, was this worsted weight? Yes, worsted weight, 186 yards to 100 grams, 100% acrylic. So, yeah. So I'm hoping to maybe make her also a pair of mittens to go with it. And she'll probably get this hat to go, because she likes purple, can you tell? This hat to give her a little entry to be able to wear underneath it, maybe, into wool. So that is actually all of my new construction. And so next up is what I've mainly been working on during this time. So for under construction, I have my big Monarch bag by Erin Lane. And I have really been enjoying this. I mean, look at this. These 2 bags are ones that I got at the DFW Fiber Fest. Even has a little leather Erin Lane there. And this is my biggest project that I've been working on quite a bit. And I'm happy with how it's coming along. And it's the Big Triangle by Hinterm Stein. I've been telling you about the yarns and everything, so I'm just going to briefly touch on that. But I wanted to show you where I was with it, because this is what I'm planning on using as my winter coat. It's made up of Cascade Yarns 220, which is a non-superwash wool, and Swiss Mountain Baby Camel and Silk, which I had gotten off of Facebook. And I'm actually able to pull it out and show it to you quite a bit. In fact, I'm going to put it on. Well, I have one more sleeve to go. Look at this. I have one sleeve completed. And yeah, it does change a little bit here. You can see the line at the moment. I'm hoping that'll block out a little bit, but if it doesn't, I'm okay with it. Where it went from flat knitting to knitting in the round. And I'm thinking, looking at my gauge, I should have gone up a needle size when I did in the round, but live and learn. I'm still happy as can be with it. The edge. So bear with me a second here, and I'm going to put this on. So I've got a great length on the sleeves. I'm really happy with that. With non-superwash wool, it should not change very much. I really do like how it's fitting me and all these little details. If I can turn around, show you the back. And I still have to add the button band, finish out the collar, but she has these cute little triangle garter pockets. Now she had it to where it ended here, and it would have just had this little tiny pocket. I went ahead and kept it moving down and had it to where I could actually put my fist in there if necessary. This part here on the sleeves is the only part you're supposed to have to sew on the whole pattern. Otherwise, you're picking up stitches the whole time. So I have this next sleeve. I wanted to show it to you guys before I added that sleeve on. And I am just really happy with how it's turning out and how warm it is. This sucker is warm. It's supposed to be close to 90 degrees today Fahrenheit, and here I am in wool. Okay, so plans for this is to finish out, get my button band on, and Charming You is making some buttons for me to go with this. So I'm excited to have those buttons coming up, but I'll be able to wear it even though, so I mean the size ended up working out really good. I actually did swatch it. I don't have my swatch right now because Charming You has it so that she can match it up. But what size did I do? Since this is a thicker yarn than what she calls for, I did it in a size large because I figured out from my swatch what the best size was, and it fits me like a dream. It has just enough space in it to where it will come out and show. I'll be able to put other clothes underneath it, and so I can wear it as a jacket for winter, but it's not so big or too tight. And I do have notes in my Ravelry page on different information as far as adjustments that I have made. So I will have those notes fully in there once I finish this. I still have a few notes to go. All right, so that's pretty much it. And it has been a quick podcast, and I still have time to get to work. And so here, let me pull forward. And get a little cooler. Okay. So what is coming up? Coming up soon, I have the Texas Advent. I have a couple of things already scheduled. I'm going to be going back to Grapevine for the ice and show you what they have this year. It's Elf. I'll tell you about that. I also have, Sam and I will be going to not a rodeo, but something I didn't know was going on here in Texas. So I'll share that with you during Advent. If you're not interested in Advent, I will still try to come on and do one episode. It may be just a quick episode to kind of touch base with you, because I know not everybody likes Advent. What I am doing for my Advents this year is I have a weekly Advent from Mousewitch Yarns, which got in just before all the tariff stuff started. And then I am exchanging an Advent or a scrappy Advent with a friend, Anne. And so I will be opening that up with you. So I won't be spoiling anybody else's. And at the end of the season, the Advents, I will give you a sneak peek of what her Advent that I made looks like. I don't want to spoil her Advent for her, so I'm not going to be discussing that during the course of Advent, but I will show you at the end. Also, Sam is working on something for me. I have asked him to write, because he does enjoy writing, I've asked him to write a short story. And so he has been working on a Christmas-themed short story. And if everything goes well, I will start recording that soon. And so those will be once a week. You'll have a little family story that is Christmas themed. So those are just a few of the things that we have planned. Other things will crop up as we go along. I'm not sure what pattern I will be working with this year. I did get, let's see here. I did buy the Knit Vent 2025 by Helen Stewart. And so I'm looking at a couple of her patterns so far. We get our third pattern tomorrow. So we'll see what comes from that. You're hearing some extra noise. I don't know if you'll pick up on the air conditioner just clicked on. So it's getting warm enough outside for that. What else did I want to tell you about? Oh, if you don't get things done this year, don't worry about it. Join me and possibly Mandy. I'm not sure if she's joining me yet. She's figuring out her schedule. But I will be doing the Topping Out Mal coming in January through March. We're going to have a lot of fun again this year and finish up projects that have started prior. There are commercials or little adverts on what the Topping Out Mal has been in the past on the channel, so you can take a look at those little shorts and see a little bit about it. But I'll talk about that more towards the end of the year. Basically, anything that you cast on prior to January 1st, 2026, can you believe it, 2026, you can participate with the Topping Out Mal. There will be prizes at the end, and there are pattern prizes once a month, so for participation. So let's just have some fun together. I do run it on Ravelry, but you also can email in your projects. And in fact, last year I had 2 different prizes that went to the email ones, because what I do is whenever you email in your entry, I add it onto Ravelry myself so that it goes into the number system, and so everything goes forward from there. A little bit of life happens. Just life is going on. Everyone's doing okay. We're getting through. We had some friends come visit. We've had family members needing additional help. I've had craziness going on at work as far as it's been really busy, and I have been exhausted. I have been working on my jacket and listening to some books on tape. And I'll tell you a little bit about those that I've been listening to. That'll give us something to do on one of the days during Advent. So come along, join me for the rest of the year. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you soon.